Today we're going to talk about how to sell out your online course, and as I walk you through the steps, I'll also break down my behind the scenes for how I did exactly that back with my very first course when I had basically no audience and was still able to sell out the course for over $8,000 in sales within just a few weeks. Let's jump right into it. The first thing we need to talk through is a popular myth about what it takes to sell a course successfully. And that is that you simply create the course, maybe you build an email list, you send a few emails, and you sit back and watch the quote unquote passive income roll in. At a certain point, that is kind of what happens actually. So I'm not here to discourage you. In fact, nowadays in my business, that is how we sell the majority of our courses. That being said, I have a massive email list. I've been doing this for now going on 7 years. And I also have really great marketing, sales, copywriting skills, plus a very established brand and reputation. None of which I had when I started out and which pretty much no one starts out with either. So when that's the case and you only have, let's say 100, 200 or so people on your email list and your copywriting skills, your marketing skills, your sales skills are not that great, they don't know you that well because you're not that established yet, it's a completely different ballgame. And if you do that, you're not really gonna be setting yourself up for success. What you really wanna do to sell out your first few courses is to use a strong launch strategy. And the high level breakdown of a launch strategy is that there are essentially 4 stages. The 4 stages of a successful launch are: first, there is the pre-launch. This is the time before your launch, that when you open and start selling your course, where you're building your audience, you're letting people know that you've got a course coming soon within the next few months, and to look out for that if they're interested. And you're using very targeted approaches to build your audience. For me, when I first started out, I used social media. I opened my own Facebook group and I said, hey guys, I built my own business on the side before I left my job. I'm going to teach you how to get started with your first paying clients. And so I was talking about that. Every single person who joined the Facebook group, I welcomed them into the group, and I was in there sharing content multiple times a day. Anytime even one person responded, I would respond to that comment and appreciate them, so that people were soon saying, hey, this Facebook group is a great place to be. They were recommending it to their friends, and it was starting to grow, not super fast, but when you're starting from zero, it felt like a miracle that it was growing at all. So I did that a few weeks before I did my launch, and I went from essentially zero, not essentially, actually zero, to a few hundred within just a few weeks, just through pure showing up, commitment, showing up multiple times a day, asking people to recommend it to their friends, and really just through grinding and hustle, which is essentially the most common way to start building your audience. Then the second phase is the launch trigger. So the thing to understand is that no matter how amazing your product is, you are the person who's going to care the most about it. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it works. Everybody, including your ideal clients who are going to get so much out of the course, they are really busy. They have a lot going on with their lives. They are seeing so many social media posts, ads, emails every single day. And so you want to do something that gets their attention more so than just an announcement like, hey, I've got this new course, it's awesome, you should check it out. And that's where a launch trigger comes in. It's some sort of essentially an event that grabs their attention, kind of gets them focused on you for a concentrated amount of time, and gets them excited about your upcoming course. So the launch trigger that I prefer is a live challenge. And for your first course, I recommend a live challenge of about 5 days, where every day you're sharing a small piece of content, you're doing a live stream, you're getting people to respond in your Facebook group, and really building that connection with them that really nothing else can do. If you're doing a video series, if you're sending some emails, if you're doing a webinar, it's not going to be the same, because they're not going to be talking to you every day, getting your feedback, watching your live streams, really seeing you demonstrate how good you are at what it is that you teach for 5 days, and in the process, getting really excited about your upcoming course. The third phase of the launch is the launch itself. And so again, this is not something where you just want to sit back and say, okay, the card is open, I'm just gonna send a few emails and that is it. Instead, you want to be out there making the most of this time, because there are going to be a lot of people who are seeing you talk about your product, and they might be interested, they might might be thinking about it, but they might also be kind of on the fence. And so normally when you're just sending a few emails, you might miss those people. But if you're out there, you're sharing posts every day, you're inviting people who are interested to reach out and chat with you about whether or not the product is a good fit for them, you're doing live streams, you're really connecting with people and building on top of the connection that you've already built through your challenge, people are gonna be a lot more interested. I know in the first few years of my business, I was in a very saturated industry. I did not have the reputation that I do now. I did not have all the testimonials that I do now. Who starts with that, right? Nobody. The reason why people chose me over people who are way more established, had bigger audiences, had way more testimonials was because of this exact reason. I made the time to talk to as many people as possible. I wasn't being salesy or pushy. I was literally hopping on a quick conversation, hearing about their situation and saying, hey, yes, this course is a good fit for you, or no, this course is not a good fit for you. And just through doing that alone, through the launch trigger, through having this environment for the launch, people said to me, you know what, I really want to learn from you versus people much more established, including like Tony Robbins, for example. He is such a big deal, such a big name, so established, but they chose my program over his because they got me, right? Versus with Tony's program, you're probably not going to be getting his personal feedback and support. And so that was my advantage. And I used it from the very beginning. And when you create your launch strategy this way, it's going to happen for you as well. So that is the third phase. The fourth phase is the post-launch. And so this is a phase that a lot of people miss, where you might think, okay, I sold out my course, I'm done. I get to sit back and I get to enjoy. But this is where the work really builds, because this is where you can be delivering so much additional value. You can be supporting your students. You can be using their feedback to refine your course to create the best possible. And through this, you're helping your students get the best results possible so they can come back and give you the best testimonials, which then you can use to sell your course even better the next time around. What's more, what's going to happen is if you're doing all of this, people are really excited, or they're engaged with you, they're going through your course, they're loving the results. Naturally, there are going to be some people who want more. And so towards the end of your course, you can be reaching out and asking, hey, if you would like more, if you would like more results, if you would like more support from me, let's talk about it. And that can lead to ideas for your next course. That can lead to some amazing one-on-one coaching and consulting continuation offers, and leading to you getting even more testimonials and really adding even more revenue to your business. When I think about my first launch, the crazy thing is this: I hustled to sell out $8,000 worth of sales. And that was about 16 or so sales, because my first course was priced at $500. I spoke to so many people. I spoke to maybe like 40 people to have those 16 people sign on. And every single person who eventually joined my program, I actually spoke to them first. So not a single person bought just through the email or anything like that. I wasn't that good at writing my emails, and I wasn't that established, so it makes sense. And then the crazy thing is this: I did exactly what I just shared with you. I over-delivered as people came in through the course, and I really worked with them and helped them get their best results possible in every way that I could. And because I showed up for them, they showed up for themselves. They got amazing results. They shared those testimonials with me. And I reached out to people who I knew wanted more. And I said, hey, you've talked about wanting more. We've gotten amazing results for you. I would love to help you get even more results. Do you want to talk about it? And then for those people, I either offered them my next course that was coming up that I already knew I was going to create and sell, or I offer them one-on-one coaching and consulting with me. And this is the crazy thing. So remember, the initial launch brought in $8,000. The people who went through the course, they had that trust in me. They already started seeing results. People who ended up buying my next course, like putting down a deposit to pre-purchase it, and the people who ended up buying one-on-one coaching consulting from me, that brought in an additional $20,000 in sales. So my post-launch process brought in more sales than the initial launch. And that brought the first launch up to almost $30,000 in sales, simply because I was showing up, I was providing good value, and people wanted more. And that is the step-by-step breakout for how to sell out your own online course, from your first to whichever course number or course launch that you are on. This is the exact process I used to sell out my first ever course for $8,000, right? Back when I had essentially no audience, as I just shared with you in the behind the scenes breakdown. And then I used the exact same launch framework to scale my next launch after that to $101,000 in sales, because I figured out the numbers. I figured out what works, what doesn't, and then I was able to scale it. And then get this, my third launch using the exact same framework, right after that, I was able to scale to over $800,000 in sales. So some really cool stuff once you have this process down, figure out what works for you, and then do more of it. And if you want, I have a great free training for you on the 3-part process of this launch framework, breaking down more details of the things to watch out for, what to really focus on, and how to do it. And so if you want that, I will share the training with you that you can sign up for either somewhere on this page and or in the description below. So I've got that for you. And I've got another awesome YouTube video for you if you are wanting to create a high quality course and know how to do it from scratch, step by step. So I will share that video for you again, either somewhere on the screen and or in the description below. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. If you found this valuable, please let me know in the comments, like this video, and hit subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. Thanks so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time.